we have reached the part of the podcast where we're going to talk NASCAR, and who better to come on then Brandon at Boston Boy 83. Brandon, how you doing today, my man?
Doing good, man. Hoping we can get off this little break that we have right now and cash something in on Sunday.
We've been close. Obviously, Byron's looking pretty good. What has made Byron's run so great the last couple of races?
I wish I could tell you the man's just standing out. All the Hendrick cars are standing out. I find it funny, this whole louvers thing that they altered, where every driver got fined 100 owner points, 100 driver points, 10 playoff points, every car except Elliott because he's not racing. They're all confiscated in practice. And then Hendrick Motorsports goes out and qualifies up front, runs 1-2, like 6, still dominates. 4 weeks in, 4 Chevy wins. When me and you talked early how everybody talked about Ford having the arrow and everything, I think you'll see Ford come back a little bit this week to the front because you're running out of Atlanta, which is newly paved, and it's going to run like a miniature Talladega and a miniature Daytona. So there's going to be a lot of drafting. So I see Ford performing well this week, but can't stop Chevy right now. It's unbelievable.
Also, did they get a ruling on Chase yet?
No, and they said they're not going to talk about the waiver until he's eligible to return.
Okay. Now, I have 1, 2, 3, 4 bets for Atlanta. How many bets do you have for this race, my friend?
4.
Now, before we discuss what we're betting and why, you mentioned something about how Atlanta is a little different this year. Why don't you tell everyone how it is?
Newly paved track. It's going to run like a miniature super speedway. The way the banks are, the grip they're going to have. It's going to be drafting nose to tail, side-by-side racing the whole time. It'll be fun. It's a little bit of an adjustment of a NASCAR fan because it's not your true Daytona. It's not your true Talladega, but it's going to run just like it. So I like to bet like we normally do with Daytona and Talladega, where we sprinkle a little bit everywhere. But I still think you're going to have certain guys stand up out front that is on the list this week.
Now, there's 2 guys we both like, and there's 2 guys we're both betting. One of them is Ryan Blaney at 12-1. Why don't you go first, and then I'll say why I like Blaney.
Blaney's still consistent. He ran consistent all last year. He's still doing it again this year. He's going to be in the mix. Penske, Ford, Aero track. We talked about it right at the touch of it and talked about it earlier this year. Ford's got the Aero apparently at super speedways. Miniature super speedway. Great spotter in Josh Williams. Blaney will be in the front this week.
I look at last 5 finishes, 5, 17, 5, a win for best average finish, last 5 years ever won. Plus, he runs well at super speedways, and I thought he looked pretty good at Phoenix for all the stuff he had to go through. So I like him at 12-1. Yeah. Plus, I mean, just the laws of regression with how good he's been running. He's good. He's due, excuse me. We both like Chastain at 12-1. Why do you like Mr. Chastain?
Consistent until last week, until Hamlin doored him completely. Hamlin admitted over the radio that he just let go of the wheel and was going to ride him into the wall. And NASCAR actually came out and penalized him for it, which is actually shocking that they penalized a driver for wrecking someone. But I just think I like the man. He's driving on top of the wheel. I do believe he's running in the Xfinity Series on Saturday at Atlanta, so he's going to have some track experience. I like him. I had him last week. I'll have him this week, and I'm probably going to have him multiple weeks moving forward. I just like what he's doing so far. Hit me with the stats. I know you got stats on this.
Well, I look at it like he's in the Kurt Busch car that's won in Atlanta before. Back-to-back second place finishes here. In his last four races, average finish of 9.8. So he's been running well here, and he's just historically on the front. And, oh, my God, the Woods – what's the name of the team? The Wood Brothers? Right.
Yep. Or Trackhouse.
Trackhouse, yeah, Trackhouse. Hot team. They've been running well, and I think we're starting to see this new team come on, and pretty soon they're going to be up there with the same breath of like the Hendricks and everything with what they're able to do in this short time. What is your next one, my friend?
My third one, you're going to like this. I'm going with your boy, Uncle Kev.
Like
25-1. Had a shot at winning last week. Didn't work out for him. You could tell he was feeling it. You could tell how upset he was after the race. He's going back to Atlanta. Last time he's racing at Atlanta. Oh, I think they have one more later this year. But his third race ever in the number 29, he won at Atlanta. Historically, he's been good at Atlanta. And he's looking to get that win. I think in his head, he's like, let me get this win, get into the playoffs, my final year, and just get that monkey off his back. I like Uncle Kev, and grabbing him at 25-1 when it's going to be more of a restrictor plate type race, I don't think you can steer away from that. And definitely grab him before qualifying.
Now, I love me some Uncle Kev. God, do I love me some goddamn Uncle Kev.
Yeah,
I love
do.
my boy. I love my boy. My next one, going to Truex, 25-1. Just looking at him, 8-11, 8-3, 9-3, 2-5. Historically has run good here. He was looking good at Daytona, and you've made the comment how this is going to run like a speedway. I think he's going to be in a good position here. There's just been a lot of hiccups he's had to deal with to start the season, but if he avoids the hiccups, I think he's going to be in a good position to get through the race and actually put himself in a position to win. So I like him. Average finish of 6.8 at this track.
I like it. I'm going to end my long shot 33-1. The number 3, Austin Dillon. He somehow is up in the mix at super speedways. I got a feeling he's going to run well this week at Atlanta, with it being, again, sound like a broken record, a super speedway style race. And I like him. Grabbing 33-1 in the number 3 at Atlanta, and he'll be there at the end.
Now, my last one, and this is just a pure dart throw. I'm just going with Bowman 18-1, just because of the comment you made, how it runs historically like a speedway. And Bowman does do well at speedways. He really doesn't do well at Atlanta. It's just the whole speedway thing that he does well. So that's why I'm going to take Alex Bowman at 18-1.
Have you looked at any top 5s or top 10s yet?
The top 10 I was looking at that I was really intrigued with after you made that comment would be Mr. Justin Haley. He would be the only one that I'd really be what's the word I'm looking for? Intrigued by, if you will, just because of his history at super speedways.
Agreed. And I will say, if he can stay out of trouble, I like Noah Gragson at plus 300, 3-1. If he can stay out of trouble, that
it's crazy to me. Like, on a side note, yep, I'm seeing a 3-1. Remember when we used to get top 20s at Corey LaJoy at 4-1?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It just kind of shows you how much the betting landscape has changed. They don't even offer 20-1 top 20s anymore.
You know what I think it is, though? I think it's the new car. I really think it's made the sport so much more competitive, and it's given these smaller teams so many more opportunities that Vegas can't sit there and put Corey LaJoy at 50-1 for top 20 anymore, because there's a good chance he'll get it. It's so much more competitive. It was competitive last year, and it's gotten even better this year. So I will say this: top 5 finish, Harvick and Truex at 4-1 for a top 5.
What do you think about Allmendinger at plus 225 for a top 10er?
He just hasn't shown me a whole lot yet. Like, I feel like he's got it, but I need to see that type of number at a road course before I jump on it.
Plus 200 for Josh Berry, top 10.
He did well last week in the number 9. He kind of shut up some critics, but I'm not sold on him. He's filling a seat right now. He's trying. It's going to help him future wise to possibly be driving in the Cup Series. But I love him in the Xfinity car in the number 8 for Junior Motorsports, but I'm not sold on him in the Cup Series yet.
What about Amarillo?
What about him?
Well, no, top 10. What do you think about it?
What is it?
Plus 160.
No, that's not enough.
Okay.
Not a bad bet. Like that's a huge possibility, but it's not enough for me to like really be intrigued by it.
Okay. All right. Brandon, I'd like to thank you for coming on, talking some NASCAR. Why, before I let you go, just one quick question. Who's winning the NBA Eastern Conference real quick?
The Buck.
Oh, look at that. Strategically frozen when we were talking about NBA. Brandon, I'd like to thank you for coming. Oh, you're unfrozen. Okay, back in it. Yeah, the Bucks, dude. I just thought I'd ask that question.
That's cool, but I'll let you have that right now. I will like it on this note, but I'll let you have that right now. And
So make sure to give Brandon a follow at Boston Boy 83. Hopefully we can cash these tickets and make some money. We'll talk next week, my friend.
all right, buddy. Have a good one.